What's going on? Ah, Mr. Pheasant, you made it. Hey, what's with the mask?
My name is Chris Peacock. I'm a detective working for the Averdale Police Department. I was recently assigned to a case regarding a recent spike of myth-related crimes in the area. This here is Tom Vandermeer, my coworker of the last few years. I'm currently chasing a lead found by one of our former coworkers, Mr. Deere. We've been instructed to use code names in order to fit in with the current lead. A gang called the Gang. Ironic.
Oh, this is the place, right?
The door was open, wasn't it?
We set up a meeting with the boss in order to join, but it doesn't look at all like expected. I mean, I was expecting a warehouse with tons of crates and guards.
Hey there. Are you Boar Pheasant, I believe? Yeah, you can call me Octopus. Or you can call me Boss. I mean, that works. Let's get one thing clear first. I don't trust you. One doesn't just enter this business out of nowhere. So as far as I'm aware, you're cops. What? Why not? Sure. Anyways, your job will be strictly deliveries for now. Trust here is earned, guys. So go and earn it. On it. Dude, you almost blew our cover. Well, according to him, it was blown before we even walked in. This is gonna take a lot longer than we thought. Now, you've probably heard the saying that someone is two-faced, but what does that really mean? They lie a lot, they get mad? There's a lot more nuance to this question than it seems. For the sake of explanation, I will be referring to these as masks. Being two-faced can be defined as acting differently in different situations to an extreme degree, like a different person, hence the mask. These can be formed in different ways, which I will go into detail to in my research paper. The more you learn about them, the more you realize and see the different masks around you. Even right now, I have a mask on in order to keep everything quality and entertaining for the video and for school and any other grading technique. This is sort of a mask, because anybody who meets me will most likely not see me in any way similar to this. Right now, I'm a completely different person than the one who was just presenting. This persona is a mask I put on, but for which scenario? Let's get floppy with it for a second. How are we to prove that the mask I use in school is a natural one, and not my face right now? Why is video Shelton not the main? That's getting a little too floppy for this discussion, so we'll move on. This video will be briefly discussing the characters from Angeline Bowley's Firekeeper's Daughter, and what masks they have and how they were formed. The three characters I'll be talking about today are Auntie, Uncle David, and Jamie. Now you may be wondering, we're missing kind of a core character there, don't you think? And I figured that the later half of this book is filled with so many of these themes, you might as well just read it yourself. Also, I kind of started the script before the big plot twist at the end there, so just please forgive my insolence in starting this too early. It would have fit so well too, especially on page 438. I saw the mask reference. Shout out all you King and Yellow fans. But it is kind of nice to avoid talking heavy spoilers for the general audience. Okay. One last note I'd like to put out there that isn't in the script anywhere. I'm sorry for the lighting. It isn't mentioned in the script because I didn't think I'd be stuck with this. You can kind of barely read what it says up here, so I'm going to try to write that with a darker marker than... So I'm going to be trying to write that with a darker marker than needed. You also kind of can't see my face really well, so if I had more time, I could have found a better setup on a ring light or something, but I don't have time or money for that. Also, the audio quality could have used my mic. I don't think it would have been much better, honestly. I don't have that good of a mic. Well, let's get started with Auntie. Now, Auntie is introduced pretty early on in the book as a person who really cares about her family. So I think that's the first thing we need to write down. The first mask, they really care for their family and those close to them. And she is presented as this way through most of the book, actually, until you get to one scene early on. The scene I'm talking about is what's referred to as the blanket party. We'll send you over to a reading segment right now.
Hey, welcome to Reading, Shelton, or Editor Shelton. Auntie's footsteps on the stairs wake me. It's still dark, even more than before. I'm instantly alerted at the sound of her voice, low and harsh, whispering through gritted teeth. Where? Tell her not to go anywhere. Yes, I'm on my way. No, you keep her away. Because it's a blanket party, not a murder scene, damn it. I'm on my way. I bolt upright, but Auntie just shoots me a warning look and keeps walking past the sofa. I quickly get up and follow her into the mudroom, my heart beginning to pound. A blanket party is when a guy does something bad to a woman, and her female cousins take him into the woods, rolled in a blanket, and beat the moo-in out of him. I asked Auntie about it when I first heard it. She called it Nishkwe justice. Lily and I made a pact that if either of us finally got to attend one, we'd tell the other about it. Take me with you, I plead as she rummages for her keys. Lily is usually the one who tells me about the res happenings. There would be a chance for me to have something exciting to share with her for once. Auntie's my only entry to Ojibwe ceremonies, and sometimes she brings me to full moon ceremonies. But going with her to a blanket party would mean something different. It would be another way for the Nishkaweg in my community to see me as part of the Firekeeper family, not just a Fontaine. Plus, what if this blanket party got out of hand and Auntie needed my help? No way. She tucks her cell phone into her bra. But I want to go! I'm surprised at myself. I've never talked back to Auntie. Her word is law. She whirls around and steps towards me, but I stand firm. Auntie glowers. Something shifts in her, energy imploding to simultaneously magnify and focus her anger. The hair on my arms and neck stands on end. This is ugly and messed up. I don't want you anywhere near it. She practically spits in my face. Go to college, snag Jamie, live your nice life. She turns and is gone. I stand there in the dark, hands trembling. Her dismissal stings like a slap across my face. My cousins always tell stories about my aunt's fighting days. Tales of fierce Teddy and her legendary shenanigans that grow more hilarious with each retelling. Like at the time when she was at a bar with friends and a Janesh guy kept asking if she was an Indian and how much Indian was she. He leered at Auntie and asked if she'd show him which body parts were Indian. She throat punched him. While he was gulping for air, my aunt told him he just experienced a real Indian fist, and she had another if he wanted to see that one too. Tonight is the first time I glimpsed the scary version of Auntie. There is nothing funny about it. Back to you, Whiteboard Shelton.
Thank you, Editing Shelton. Now, as we can see from that scene, it's not explicitly told you in the book what a blanket party is, but it is a sort of event where abused Indigenous women gather up, and I believe it is to beat the man who did the abusing, which, all in all, it's a bad situation all around. But when Donis asks to go, Auntie seems like an entirely different person to her, and that is interesting to know. We can put down here Auntie's second mask, Cold. She seems to, at times when she's in that state, to be very sort of unresponsive or like positive. I don't know how to describe this. It's getting a bit floppy with it, but I'd say almost like she doesn't care about their happiness. She only cares about their safety at the time. So I would have to say cold. And I feel like this might be a bit of a lie, but if you go into my research paper, then as you can see, base masks tend to share a lot of masks that only swap out a few pieces. So I tried to represent that here in the picture. Base mask, Auntie, cares about her family and is protective. Now, there's probably a lot more details I could go into here, but most of this is improv, and I'm just doing this in one shot, so we're just going to stick with it. And the second mask, Auntie, He's cold and protective. Now you might notice something there. 2 words are shared between, and there's only 2 each. Protective. And that is because in both cases, she cares deeply about those around her. In one, she just cares more about, defending them than cares more about attacking. Now that was the bit of the flabby one. That was one I wasn't sure whether to include because it was kind of, There definitely is more. Shame on me, but I don't really remember much of Auntie's story. She wasn't that big of a character in my opinion. So instead, let's move on to someone I can say a bit more about. Let's move on to Uncle David. Uncle David was Donis's uncle on her mother's side, making him a Fontaine. Now, if you've read the book, you know the Fontaines are Adonis's other side of the family, the non-Native American, non-Ojibwe. 13 years before the story starts, Uncle David had finally gone sober. He had a drinking problem, which I have no idea how long it went on for. Off the top of my head, at least. I don't think the book says it at any point, but he had finally gone sober. The important part there was he had an addiction to alcohol. Now, we have the obvious implied mask of hiding drug use from his family. It is a common problem with people that take drugs to try to hide it from their family, go out and do suspicious stuff, try to sneak money out. And that's kind of it's a little hard to separate personalities based off that, because personalities are more one whole and then split off into masks, but personality is the best blanket term I have for it. So when I say personality, I'm referring more to individual masks of a personality. But Uncle David, he had done the same. We don't know how long, because it takes place 13 years before the story, but he was hiding stuff from his family, which makes his untimely death right before the story starts a bit sad, because they all thought he was just getting a little too drunk, if you know what I mean. And he died of a meth overdose. It is important. They think he died from meth overdose. Again, another really heavy topic I feel bad about just slipping right past, but it's not too important to what I'm actually trying to say here. So we will be moving past it. The point is, he had shady habits, so when the FBI scouted out Uncle David, which they did, without telling his family, they thought he was just getting back into the bad habits. So that will split off the first mask, which the family thought he was in, to the second mask, the FBI mask, where he was a confidential informant. David here was a confidential informant for the FBI. Now what that means, he was dealing with the meth investigation in the area in the early 2000s. He was trying to find evidence for who started the ring, and let's say he did kind of find that, and that's what ultimately led to his death. It's still pretty mysterious how he died, but it's assumed it's homicide. But we can get really floppy with this here. So he had a mask for his family, which made him seem shady, visible. He had a mask for the FBI, and then he had what's assumed to be his main mask, the science mask, where he hid stuff in science order. In order, he only taught to one person. So we can split him into at least 3 separate masks. You've got the one the family saw, the one the FBI saw, and the one he only showed Donis. Now he left secret codes from the science mask for Donis to find stuff that he was hiding from the FBI and from the family. Now we can't really go into a lot of how this was used. We don't actually meet him in the book. But I'd say this is a pretty good diagram as to what we're going to be talking about. Well, what we are talking about, not gonna be. This has confirmed at least 3 masks. I didn't label the other one because, again, it's kind of a mystery, and I was just looking for a filler because I didn't know about Levi. But 3 masks. Now, the formation, we can't really, decide. I guess he chose not to... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Okay, so, if we think... let me put down this. I was going to switch to Jamie. If we consider family more than family, but community... He could be going through the same epiphany Donis was. Now that I look at it from a greater perspective, that is definitely what they were trying to go for, but... So he was trying to protect his community by hiding some information from the FBI that would lead to something bad in the community. Hey, I just finished dropping off that package you wanted. Should I just head back to the base now?
Alright, good. I'm gonna be out for business when you return. Just grab the next delivery and get it done.
Alright. Yeah, guess I'll see you later then.
Wait, if he's finally out, then his office is gonna be open. I can actually search for evidence!
Alright, let's see what we got here. Wait a minute. Why are there so many buildings listed here? Building. Is this the whole gang network? Oh my god, I just hit the jackpot. Is this a lever? Is this a hidden letter? Dear Mr. Bohr, I feel like the time has come to enact the plan. You've gained enough of his trust so his guard will be down. We take him out, we get control of everything. Your whole system will be ours. Don't get sentimental. Octopus? Is Octopus planning on taking out the big boss? I've only heard rumors about the dude. I think his name's Snake? Wait, this could be extremely good for the investigation. If Octopus becomes the new head, we'll know exactly who to go after. I have to go call Bohr. Now this part makes me really happy to talk about, because over the course of this, poster board, I was going to say whiteboard because it's what Flaw uses, but no, over the course of this poster board, we've been getting more and more complex with our explanations, and we finally get to why I wanted to choose this topic, Jamie. Now Jamie represents what I think the perfect sort of example of this subject, because we don't know how many masks this dude has. He's a character constantly shrouded in mystery in the first half of the book. So Jamie was a mystery. Now, I'm not sure how accurate this is, because I've been adding on to the script while writing through the book, and I'm just recording it after I'm long done. But at some point, when he's at this hockey game with Donis at a hotel, he mentions being adopted from a different place. Adopted. Now we can assume this is part of his main mask, which I'm not sure what I'll use to represent it. Maybe just a hockey puck. A hockey puck can represent his main mask, because I don't know. Now this is the part of his history that's from growing up. This was the mask he came up with then, which led to him becoming a worker for the FBI, where he became an agent and went on so many cases Sorry, it's really hard to talk and write. I don't know how Flaw does this all the time. He goes on so many cases, we don't actually ever get a number. We just know that he's been on cases. So it's really interesting when you think about it, that for every one of these missions, he has to switch masks. So he has more masks than I could write on this board, probably. Because you got real Jamie, who we know was adopted. And we know he cares deeply for Donis, but I don't think we need to write that down. It's pretty obvious. We got FBI, who's been on countless cases. He's encountered tragedy on them. Which is kind of vulnerability, but because the FBI mask, he doesn't show it much. And then we've got the main, which is the one we're introduced to at the beginning of the book. The really cool, sick high school student just scouted from out of nowhere, Jamie. Where he's pretty much just a unknown prodigy. And this is why he's a very complex character. And that's why for his drawing, I had no idea what to do. Let me back up a second so you can try to see the drawings. For each of them, I had like different masks there. Try to explain. Auntie's, she has the main mask because you can count those. For David, I thought it was pretty fair and pretty, fitting to not have a mask because we never actually see him. We as the audience do not know what his mask would look like. And then we've got Jamie, who throughout the book is pretty obvious about his FBI thing to Donis, so that's why he's in the FBI vest. But then you can see there's a sort of tragedy under the mask. He's sad in the mask, but also in real, because we have no idea what happened to him. He's got the scar on his face. I don't remember this exact details from the book, and I didn't put it in the script. There was some sort of tragedy in one of his previous missions where he got too emotionally involved. I wish I could analyze more about this dude, but we just don't have that much about it, and I don't feel like reading the 2 sequel books, honestly. So I think that about wraps up Jamie. Oh, hey, Mr. Moore. Pig, what are you doing?
What I have to.
Hey, he's not wearing a wire, right? You check that? No, I told him not to. What is going on? You've been double-crossed, Pheasant. Actually, it's Wolf. What is going on? I'll tell you, it's not really a personal thing. This has been a setup from the start. I actually don't know how you didn't figure it out sooner. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's no drugs. There's no people here. I'm wearing a mask, for God's sake. I mean, come on. This is obviously a fake hideout. Then that list you found. The names on that, they're all fake too. You played right into our hands. What are you talking about? I've done jobs here. I've done jobs for you. What? Exactly. You played right into our hands, man. That list you found, they're gonna search them, and they're all gonna be fake. All the search houses are gonna be fake. And guess who's gonna be blamed for that? You! Oh my God. Oh, you might actually get a kick out of this one. You know Octopus, right? The dude right there? Yeah. That's not his name. Yeah. And you're never gonna guess who that is. Ever heard of Snake? Or the Big Boss? Hey, little pheasant. And no, I wear no mask. This is real. You see, and with your death, I will not only control the AVPD, I'll have a connection with the biggest gang in all of Ataraxia. You took an oath to protect the city, boar. Or wolf, or whatever. Oh, and I will. I'll just let a few things slightly breeze by every now and then. Please, just tell me, did you kill Mr. Deer too? Am I gonna end up like Mr. Deer? Oh, no. Mr. Deer was actually killed by the gang. I just had to change the story a bit. In truth, I was actually there. That's where I met Snake over here. No, and then Snake proposed this plan to me. And here we are. Now, any final words? Well, I don't believe I have time for the full thing, so... Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou unsung, as tears unshed, shall dry and die in lost Carcosa. The book, The Firekeeper's Daughter, has one of the many interpretations of personality masks that I believe is just a really great showing. Just like with shows like Twin Peaks, these masks can be so polarizing that they seem like entirely different people. But the formation of them, it's pretty clear, cut and clear, unlike Twin Peaks. Next video, I'll be covering a long-time request in this community. A little old book, only my favorite of all time, named House of Leaves. Yeah, if somehow Flaw's watching that video, if Flaw's watching this video, he's gonna get some memories. It's my favorite book of all time, pretty much. I hope I did a good enough impression of Flaw for this video. And I just really like the dude. He's my favorite YouTuber of all time. Really inspired a lot of my work that I do today. Anyways, I think that about wraps up this video. I really shouldn't have picked yellow paint or yellow marker for the logo. It would have made it a bit more obvious what was coming, but anyways. So, Flaw does this thing in his videos where he does a fan art shout out, but I don't have any fan art. Because, I'm not technically a YouTuber. So, we're just gonna pretend like I'm doing a fan art shout out. And so from here we have this from so-and-so, which is a great detailing of me in the Firekeeper's Daughter video. And, no, I'm just cutting this shit out. I was gonna do a whole bit where I was pretending to, have the fan art in the air, but no, I just couldn't. I'm sitting here filming this in silence, people. No. Anyways, there is one I will actually do. Because I really want to do a whiteboard erasure, but I don't have a whiteboard. These are poster boards, so we're going to take my trusty dusty light bulb here and just pretend while I wrap this out. So thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. Masalama, see it chitun, hasta luego, I'll see you soon.
We took the words that made us